Good morning, everyone. So, I've been a Manchester United supporter since 1994, and to be quite frank with you, we had it easy, didn't we, under Fergie? This situation under Jose Mourinho just gets worse and worse. We look at the transfer situation. What's really going on there? I do have my suspicions that Fred was signed by the club, the Lot was signed by the club, the goalkeeper was signed by the club. I don't think Mourinho's making signings. I really don't. I think the club probably blame him for what happened last year, signing two defenders on the bench. Mickey over to Arsenal. The situation doesn't make sense. Last night we saw a very dull friendly game. Listen, I don't expect to be entertained by friendly games. The players are rusty. I get it. So really, that's neither here nor there. I know a lot of people are judging a club for that, but this situation is now becoming really desperate because it is Pogba and Martial versus Jose. Two world-class players that could be leaving the club. I don't believe Pogba will leave the club, but Martial, we know, is a very realistic situation that he could leave. Now, if Martial leaves, Manchester United isn't the club I fell in love with in 1994 when we lost the league to Blackburn. That's the day I fell in love with this club. I didn't fall in love with this club when we were winning trophies. I fell in love with this club because of the spirit we showed on the last day of that season against West Ham United. So we need to be keeping talented young players. Now, I've heard he's too lazy, he's too this, he's too miserable. Look at the way Jose's treated him from the first moment he walked through the Carrington doors. Not with a lot of respect. He gave his number to Zlatan, which I think was outrageous. He has not treated him well. Jose is a man who comes out and says things about players he shouldn't. It's as simple as that. And I just feel the time is right now, the writing's on the wall, just to boot him out. He's going to quit by October anyway. We probably won't win a game, right? And then he'll go. That's what's going to happen. Well, who would have thought a few years back that Wolves would potentially could finish up higher than us? And people don't think that's a joke. Don't start tapping on your keyboard saying, what are you talking about? You're not a real fan. I'm a real fan because I'm talking like this. I'm hurt that our club is in this situation. And there's a lot of people who don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about the situation that Manchester United Football Club find themselves in. Well, they haven't found themselves in it. They've brought it within themselves. I've said this a billion times on my videos, getting boring. Fergie brought in Moyes, wanted him to have a 10-year contract. Mistake. Sorry, Fergie, legend, but mistake. They brought in LVG. He ended up being a supervillain. Mistake. And Mourinho, I was so excited. I thought, not the greatest football, very negative personality. But if we get the Mourinho that I remember, we're going to win trophies every year. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be great. And he's going to make funny comments at press conference. Every press conference, he looks like he wants to break down and cry. He seems to want to make the point that he doesn't want to be here and it's just a job to him. Well, sorry, mate, if that's the case, can you just fuck off? Because we are not interested. Because we can get any manager we want who wants to be here. I'm sure the Bournemouth manager would love to be at this club. And personally, I think right now, at this stage, I think he's a better choice than Jose. Jose Mourinho was a fantastic manager, but he's lost it. He's not that man anymore. Manchester United got an empty shell, not Jose Mourinho. And there's no future in it. I was excited for this appointment, but I'm not anymore. How I feel about it? I feel that this club is going down and downhill for as long as he's with us. There's no point. If the club don't trust him to even do the transfers, what's the point? We're not going to sign a big player. We're not going to sign Bale. We're probably not going to sign anyone else. The reality is we're coming to the end of Jose Mourinho's reign at Manchester United Football Club. And no one wants to do anything about it. No one wants to talk about it. We've got to back the manager. We've got to back the team. No, we don't. If something's wrong, and it's our responsibility to speak up. Because if enough of us speak up, then changes will happen. But if you just sit there going, yeah, I agree with Jose. I agree with Jose. Whatever he does is right. That's what they did when Hitler invaded. And guess what? Look what happened there. Now, I'm not saying Jose Mourinho is Adolf Hitler. Of course not. What I'm saying is, if you just accept things in life, bad things will happen. Manchester United is the richest sporting outfit in the world. It makes the most profit because the Glaziers are very good business people. Now, people are accusing them of not handing over the cash. He spent about 300 million in 2 seasons. This is the 3rd season. It's probably gone up from that. Don't think he hasn't had a lot to spend. No, he hasn't spent as much as Pep has, but nobody's spent as much as Pep has. At the end of the day, right, you've got to look at it and say that Jose Mourinho was a failure. He brought in Pogba, made him a worse player. Martial was great before Jose turned up. He made him a worse player. Rashford was a really good player under LVG. A worse player now under Mourinho. He's improved Valencia and a couple of others. But ultimately, Jose Mourinho drowns this club with negativity and not positivity. This is not what we want. This is not what we need. We should be excited about going into a new season, but we're not. I do predict he will quit in October, which makes this situation of the club sticking to its guns and backing him pointless. Because if Anthony Martial does go and they back Mourinho, this isn't the club I fell in love with. No. We cannot be selling him. And if we do sell him, that says a lot about our club. That we're backing a man who won't even be here this time next year over a young player who could be playing for us for the next 10 years. I want you to think about that. When you're watching all these other Manchester United fan channels or football channels, or when you're listening to the pundits on Sky Sports News, I want you to think about that. If you care about this club, what's more important? I know a lot of the people backing Mourinho are actually his fans. They're not even real Manchester United fans. But we're fans, aren't we? If you're watching this, you're a fan. You care. You watch every video. You watch every mention of Manchester United because you love this club. And we cannot let a little arrogant, little so-and-so like Mourinho destroy it because that's what he wants to do. He's no good for our club. You know it, I know it. And action has to be taken now before a ball is kicked. Because if he does go now, I'll be ecstatic. Even if that means that Michael Carrick and Kieran take over the management, I'm fine with that. It's not ideal, it's not great, but at least maybe we'll play more positive football. It won't be, as I say, Michael Carrick might prove to be one of the best managers ever. Sometimes, young ex-players do surprise you. I mean, Gareth Southgate surprised a lot of people this summer with the World Cup in England, so who knows? But Mourinho isn't for us. He's in the future. He's in the past. He isn't anything. If I thought there was a chance of him doing anything at this club, I would back him. But do you see a man who's going to win the league this year or next year? Listen, for me, we don't even have to win the league. If we were challenging and finished about 5 points behind City this year, I'd be happy. Quarterfinals of the Champions League, maybe a cup win, who knows? I'd be happy with that. But we're not even going to get that close to City. Liverpool are leaps and bounds above us. Now, we hate them. We have the rivalry, but we have to be honest. The job Klopp's doing there is brilliant. Us as Manchester United fans made fun of Liverpool for losing against Madrid in the Champions League final. Well, at least they got there, which is more than you can say for us. I love Manchester United, but I won't sit idly by with my mouth shut while this man, Jose Mourinho, destroys our club. Comment down below if you like the video. Subscribe. Press the little bell and there'll be more talks like this. But this is not just about football. I love DC. I love comic book movies, TV shows. I talk about loads of stuff. So please do subscribe.